What's up, everybody? It's Alex Panda, PANDATATS818, and you're watching Blazted Network.
Today, of course, we are dealing with kids who are BAD bad.
Now let's go around the world in 80 ways in space as we capture the international flavor of the Seattle World's Fair in the skies. Here are scientific crossroads that symbolize the international spirit of space-age tomorrow.
El HOSPEK en la instrumental. Torres criminal. Chocalacas, SOS. Más problemas que dinero, aferrado por lo que quiero. Más flemas en la garganta, aguante lleno el cenicero. Comenzando desde cero, a la cuenta regresiva. La mente dañada, pero siempre positiva.
I was born in El Salvador, San Salvador, basically. I came to the States in '94. Dude, I was all over the place. I was very active to an extent when my mom wasn't home, or my mom was always working, so I was out in the streets, basically. If it wasn't skateboarding, biking, or anything like that, like, I was just at home drawing or watching anime, if I'm honest with you. Dude, I went to La Crescenta Valley High, and then I ended up over here in the valley at Monroe. Yeah, Monroe High School, yeah. I've been always drawing since, like, I would say maybe first grade. You know, I remember the first project, it was like I remember it clearly because that's what started me off. And it was literally a group project. And it was like The Boy Cried Wolf, you know? And I remember we had to make an imagery of the wolf and the sheep and the hill. So I ended up drawing the wolf, and my classmates liked it, so they wanted to do it again. Again, I'm like in first grade, and I'm like, I'm a badass. Like, look at my work, you know? Like, yeah, I'll do yours. Like, come over here, you know? But then it started getting to the point where, like, I would look at different imageries and stuff like that, and I would copy them, but I couldn't make my own. And I guess that's what interested me more. Like, how do people come up with these things? Like, how do they come up with these amazing, drawings just from, like, here? And that's where it just derived from, honestly. My hobbies were my sports. So my hobbies were literally skateboarding, BMX, playing football outside, sometimes basketball. I suck at it, so don't ask me to play. Just random shits outside that you would get hurt at as a fucking kid. Even jackass shit, dude. Me and my friends, we would record stupid videos of us doing stupid shit. For no odd reason, okay? Just getting into trouble and mayhem and stuff like that. But as soon as I come home, no matter what it is, I'm drawing. I was constantly trying to practice. Especially once I found anime in middle school, I just, like, I want to learn how to do that too. Like, I like how the girls look. Like, let me do the waifus, like, you know? And it just, bro, it just captivated me more. So I grew up in a very poor family. My mom was raising 3 kids on her own, working 2 jobs. We weren't really watched by adults. I had to grow up way too quickly, so I'm the oldest out of 4. So I had to take care of my younger siblings, even especially the baby. I would literally take care of a baby, literally. My younger brother right now, he's 16, and sorry, Josue, but I used to wipe his ass, bro. I used to change his diapers. I used to bathe him. I used to feed him. I used to take him everywhere and stuff like that. He was like my son, and I had to grow up. So I didn't fully graduate high school. Like, I didn't go on stage and do all that. I did that afterwards, trying to proceed. And that was years after, because I started working right off the bat. I started working. And I didn't see any future in my art because I felt like we don't have the money for it. My mom at one point during my school time in high school, she did something like, you know, that she thought like would have been a good thing for me. She tried to get me like into an art institute. And so I guess they were doing this thing where they come in and they talk to you and they see your work and stuff like that. And my mom submitted some of my stuff, and she told me this guy's gonna meet me, and I'm like, who are you talking about? And then this guy, so he came in, he's like, we're interested in wanting you to come to our school and stuff like that. And I was like, I was really happy, dude. I was like, oh man, this is dope, but it's gonna cost this much. My mom didn't know that, you know, and my mom thought it was like, oh, that it's classes that I can take that I can learn that are for free or something. She didn't think it was gonna cost a couple thousands of dollars. I'm just like, okay, and that's where I just, you know, school was not in my direction because I gotta help moms at home. So I really more concentrated in the workforce. You know, literally my first job out of high school was literally Crepe Cafe in Universal Studio City Walk. During my break times, I would just draw. Yes, I had various jobs. From plumbing, landscaping, painting, construction. I ended up working at a multi-million-dollar company for 3 years, and I became their main technician for large format printing, sublimation printing, you know, and I would run these like $75,000 machines that I would have to take care of and shit, you know. I'm like this 20-year-old. And they had like contracts with fucking Target and all these big companies, right? And I just did various jobs, even auto glass and shit, you know, and just to try to, but I never stayed at anything because at the end of the day, all of my jobs, I ended up just doing the same thing in my breaks. Draw. You know, it wasn't after like 21 that I started investing time to tattooing. So my brother's friend really gave me a tattoo machine, and he was a tattoo artist, and he would see my drawings. He's like, man, you would do good at tattooing, and I never thought about it. Growing up in a gang neighborhood, really, I wasn't like too interested in it, but it did pick my attention. You know, I'm like, oh, tattooing. He gave me a machine that really I didn't touch for that much until like another friend of ours came around and he gave me a tattoo kit, complete tattoo kit and stuff. And he's like, I don't know why, but this is going to be you. This is for you. This is your calling. He's like, I'm not going to give up on that for you. He's like, so I bought you this kit, this tattoo kit. He got it to swap me, bro. But it was cool. Like, fuck it. So then I just started fucking around. You know, started fucking around at first, but it was mostly like hood stuff, bro. If I'm honest, you know. But when I was doing those stuff, I was always thinking about like, how can I get better? What can I learn? And I guess I started diving, and I learned that you got to go through an apprenticeship. There's this whole process, and that's where my journey. My journey didn't start there yet. My journey started when like I got my first tattoo magazine. Because, like, I remember I went to the 7-Eleven. You know, I was going there and I saw Lowrider Arte. I saw it and I saw, like, I'm like, is that a tattoo? So I picked up the page. I picked it up and I just remember it's, like, the first person that I saw was Steve Soto. And I was like, how did you do that on skin? Like, how do you get the gradients? How do you get your shades? How do you get your tones? I like, oh, my God, like, looks like what I do on paper. Like, I want to know how to do that. And that's what made me really immerse myself into it, because I'm like, this is an art, you know? It's not like, hey, my homie, I just lost my homie, R.I.P. You know, I want my girl's lips here, bro. Like, yeah. Yeah, dude, after that magazine, after seeing those images, that made me want to research how to get there. And that's where I landed into always reading into apprenticeship. I got that so embedded in my head, right? I got that so embedded in my head that I was like literally searching for an apprenticeship as I was tattooing on the side. I was a household scratcher, you know what I mean? Like, people don't respect that, you know? But you got to do what it takes sometimes. And I remember sometimes I would reach to certain artists and stuff like that, and I would get shut down. Like, I'm talking about like, quit your shit, like fucking, you're fucking people up. your shading is whack. Your faded ass tattoo, your lame-o tattoos, like fucking that so much, bro, that literally as a young starving artist, you just feel like fuck, like shit. I just want some guidance, you know? But at the end of the day, it's like this industry is so hard, you know? It's tough on you. You know, you gotta really want it. So I just kept pushing, you know, until eventually, you know, I started seeing some progress in myself, you know. So what I would do is, like, I would look up videos, but I was still limited to internet use. We're a poor family, you know what I mean? And, like, we didn't even have a computer. So I would go to the library, actually. You know, go to the library, and I would go, and you'll pay a quarter, bro. I would pay a quarter to print out pictures and stuff like that. So I'll go to the library, do my research there, use the library stuff, got myself a library card, looked up like if they had any books, and it was like rare to find any books about tattooing or like that tattoo culture or anything like that. It was really hard, you know, come across that in just your local fucking library, you know. So sometimes I'll go through different little bookstores and I'll find gems here and there and stuff like that. And started coming across flash work and started researching flash work. It's like, what is flash work? What does that really mean? What does it represent? You know, who does flash work? Who specializes in flash work? And, you know, different styles of tattooing and stuff like that. And it just really, I would really just dive myself every day to like try to practice certain style. But I would always come back to the same old topic for me, which was I want to capture life. Like, I want to be able to draw and people look at it and be like, damn, that's so real. Like the reflection, this, the depth of it all. And like, dude, you got so in there, you know? And, but it was hard because like, I didn't take no classes. I didn't take no courses. And it was just all self-taught, trial and error, you know, until like finally I developed my own style.
Voy por el suelo y ando bien mareado. ¿Qué me ha pasado? Eso ni yo lo sé. El que presume algo es lo que carece. Mi flota marchita ya no florece. Les queda muy grande el que de MC. Siglo XXI, homie, otro sobreviviente. Atrás quedó el pasado, solo viajo en el presente. Mi alma sigue ausente y solo estoy físicamente. En la jungla del cemento sobrevive el que es más fuerte.
Anything. I was doing quarter sleeves, half sleeves. I was doing like upper backs, letterings, trying my at imagery, skulls, cover ups, color work, line work, black work, like anything, bro. Anything that I felt like, okay, I can practice this line work that I read so much about, or I saw so much about, or I can practice, you know, using these new needles for this. You know, I heard this can pack like that, but that it was everything. You know, it was no, like, I did not, the only things that I wouldn't really do was like just gang related stuff, to a certain extent, because I did that so much that I had a portfolio about it, and you're seen a certain type of way, like, and that causes trouble. And I'm like, the last thing is like, I'm not trying to be affiliated with that. That's not me at all. So yeah, that was a hand me down coil. Nothing professional, anything like that. Swap me made. And bro, like, it took me years on my own, okay? On my own. This is how crazy it is when you're just getting stuff off like the internet or from books, where you don't really get a personal experience to show you the technicalities or everything broken down to with when it comes to your machine. That it took me years before I learned about bending my needle bar and adding a rubber band. That when I went into a shop, they're like, how the fuck are you pulling those lines without a rubber band? We're like, a rubber band? What are you talking about? And then they showed me that, and I was blown away, dude. I was like, yo, you telling me my lines can be straighter? Like, fuck. You know, and they're like, it's like, why is your amateur bar like that? My what? Like, your amateur bar, you've been self-tattooing for like 4 years, and you don't know what your amateur bar is. Like, oh, fuck, I felt embarrassed. It's embarrassing, you know? And they're like, who the fuck mentored you? Nobody. Nobody. And I remember that shop was giving me my first chance, and I just remember they're like, you know how to tattoo, but you don't know how to tattoo. Make no sense to me, but they're like, you're like a knife, but you're like an unsharpened knife. You're made to cut, but you can't cut. So we're going to sharpen you up. That's crazy. Yeah, and it was crazy because I was like, oh, okay. Then they showed me a little bit in depth, like, you know, with like the needles, the machines, and all of that. Now, I was like, After that, literally, I heard feedback from friends where they're like, dude, you've been in there for like 6 months and holy shit. Like you're black and gray. It's like, it's going crazy, you know? And I didn't want to get all like, you know, egotistical about it, but I was like impressed. I was like, fuck, I finally see some fucking actual effort. I actually see some progress that I'm like very happy with. Like, and that made me more excited for what else I can learn. You know, what else I can, let me, I was so hungry, dude. During those 4 years, I was searching for an apprenticeship during those 4 years. But nobody was giving me an apprenticeship, but my friends knew that I had a tattoo machine, so I would still get pushed. Eventually, I started making clients word of mouth. I had no social media or anything like that. Back then, MySpace was a big thing, and Facebook was coming around, you know? And so I just went in with it, you know. At the same time, I told myself my goal was to show these shops or show these artists that I want my mentor to mentor me or help me out, to show them that I can progress, that I do have the capabilities, you know, to progress and get better. Like, I just need guidance, you know. And I wanted to show that so bad. I wanted to show, like, you know, but it was rejection after rejection after rejection for 4 years straight. Like, I would get some chances here and there, but it was always things that I didn't wanted to hear. Like, you can't do black and gray realism. You can't do large scale. You can't do color work. You know, some of them would lift up their shirts and show me some badass work, and they'll tell me, you can never do this. You know, all you can do is like stuff like flash work off the wall. You know, and I felt bummed out because I'm like, man, I want to tattoo like how I draw. You know, like I want to do that so bad. You know, and I'm not getting any choice here but just to try to learn on my own. And that's what I did until one day. And back then, it's like upcoming artists, like people that were on the grind and were really hungry, we would try to link up with each other and we would try to like connect and talk and share. So a guy reached out to me. He's like, hey, bro, are you at a shop? And I'm like, no, why? He's like, because my friend has an open spot and I could recommend him to you and you can go. And I felt happy because I'm like, oh shit, you think my work is good enough to be at a shop? I was happy. I'm like, oh, you know what? Fucking apprenticeship. I'm just gonna start fucking tattooing and quit my job. Like, fucking, let's go. Like, I'm in there, you know. Let me go meet him. So I go, I meet him, and the owner, he's just looking, flipping through my books, stuff and that. Closes it, looks at me, and he just says, he's like, I can't have you tattoo for my shop. He's like, but I can have my artist sharpen you. And we'll go from there. And at first I was devastated. I left. He's like, think about that, come back with me and stuff. I was devastated because I was like, fuck, I was already determined. I already made up my mind to quit on an apprenticeship, to quit learning, so I can just tattoo all out and just go and learn that with other artists. And as I thought about it, I'm like, well, I have an opportunity to sharpen what I already know. Obviously, he sees something. I'm going to go for it. So I went and I told him, and yeah, I'll be the side apprentice, you know. He's like, we'll give you a crash course apprenticeship. It's basically what it was. You know, for 6 months, like, you know, I had to do all the bitch work at the shop, clean, do all of that, while at the same time, my mentor Johnny was showing me like his needle groupings and stuff like that. I saw a Bishop for the first time, the rotary, the old school ones that go up and down like the neon tat gun machines. And I was like, what is that? He's like, rotary. He's like, what do you shade with? I'm like, oh, mags. He's like, do you use curve mags? And I'm like, curve mags. He's like, bug pins and more in depth. That's where I learned about the whole needle bending the bar and stuff like that. And I'm like, why do you do that? He's like, what do you mean for what? He's like, don't tell me you don't bend your. They all looked at me like I was a freak. Like, what do you mean? grab this fucking rubber band, Ben. They showed me, and then I saw, and then they showed me how it keeps the needle more stable, gives more stability, makes straighter lines. I was in awe. I was like, oh, my needle doesn't rattle. Holy crap, dude. Holy shit. Like, you know, yeah, it was a big changer. And then, like, even the drop system, showing me about the drop system, because there were some videos that I would look up online when I would look up YouTube, but they wouldn't really fully explain. It's like, oh, my drop system. I'm like, what do you mean your drop system? But they don't mean, like, this is the type of ink that I use, and this is the type of liquid that I use to go ahead and distill it to make my tones or my shades. And this is how many drops it takes to make each tone. And each drop represents how darker the tone can get. I had no idea. I had no idea that was that until I was seeing Johnny. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like counting my drops. I'm like, what? He's like, my drop system. He's like looking at me again. Like, he's like, and he's like, that's why your tones are always the same. That's why it's always flat. That's why you don't get the outcome that you want to get. The way that you draw dark to light to super light on your papers. He's like, you got to approach it differently on your tattoos, and you got to learn it, you know, from your drop system. Your drop system is going to represent how you draw. Makes sense. I was just like, yo, feed me more. I'll clean the bathroom and I'll come back. Like, you know, so, and then from there, I was in there for almost a year. This is 2014. And from there, I got my first opportunity where somebody said, you know, hey, do you want to come work at a shop? They're brand new opening and you could be their main artist. And I just took it. And it was a cool experience. The owner, my boy Mimic, like, and Bribes, amazing people. And, like, they look thugged out, but fucking sweetest motherfuckers you'll ever meet. My bad. Sweetest individuals you'll ever meet. And yeah, they were just like wanting to learn from me because I was already working at a shop. I was already at Aslan. That they literally were like, you know, we need someone to help us manage this. And I'm like, well, I'll try my best from what I've seen and what I've experienced and what I took from there. And it turned out to me managing it to the point like where a lot of people thought I owned the shop, which I didn't. I just knew how to manage it. I started learning and making our own way of managing things. And that's where it was a cool experience because I'm like, okay, this gives me a look if like later down in the future I want to actually own a shop. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no. And it gave me that knowledge as well. It was another, you know, opportunity to learn and, you know, be invested and be part of something that was growing because we were trying to be a collective. You know, we were called PANDATATS818, HNT. It was like on Mission Hills by Devonshire and Sepulveda. It was a second floor shop. And yeah, man, we ran for 3 years solid. It was a pretty good run, you know, and we were like a 2-story shop, bro. We had downstairs, we would do heat pressing and printing for shirts and stuff like that, and merchandise, or like if we had homie Bribes will have customers come and make decals and stuff like that for their companies or logos or whatever. And then upstairs is the tattoo shop, so you'll go upstairs, a whole different vibe. Okay, well, a private studio, I literally took the leap on that in 2019. I had a private studio with 2 of my other friends, Caesar, Vela Squeezy Tattoos, and Gordito, Official Gordito. And we did a private studio for about a year together, you know? And I went that route because honestly I wanted a more private setting for my clients and stuff like that, because when you work in a shop, sometimes it's cool, the vibe's cool, you know, you get this whole different atmosphere at the tattoo shop, right? But with a private studio, it's more one-on-one in depth, and like I like making my customers feel more comfortable, especially if you have a high female-based clientele and they get certain areas tattooed. You want to make them feel comfortable and adjusted. And I wanted to make it more professional, but it's hard to keep it professional when everybody else is either like out partying, drinking, smoking, or coming up in your business. You know what I mean? No matter if you take the precautions, you know. And on top of that, it's like it gave me more of a freedom. I can play around with my own hours instead of the shop hours, you know, and it just gives me more freedom to do what I want to do. Right now, it doesn't have a really solid name, but we're over here trying to call it The Lab between me and my boy Wix Tats. And Yeah, just a laboratory. I mean, we come in here and we just literally get to work. We just start creating, and it's not just tattooing. We try to like do other things, So, Winnetka, the city of Winnetka. Okay, that's hard for me because I like two different mediums. I like black and gray realism and I like anime work. So that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I mean, I guess I do more black and gray realism than I do actual anime, which is kind of upsetting. I wish I would get more anime, but I'm not hating on the black and gray. I'm in between those two mediums, honestly. But if I do want to say that I do like to pride myself is in my details, my detail work. So like literally, I love details. Anything that would challenge me with any detail work on it, I would get in there with it. So. But I would I would stick to black and gray or anime. That's the mast, from Dragonfly. Honestly, it's not a very crazy or expensive machine that you see everybody else running. I had the Eon Flux from FK Irons. I got a bunch of FK Irons machines. I have different wireless machines, but I don't know. It's like sometimes you find something that really suits you and fits you down to your movement and how it hits and like what you're looking for. That's where it comes down. So it's a mast. Honestly, it's not one of those crazy machines that it's like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Mine was like $200, bro. Right now, that's my go-to machine. Right now, that one and then another one that's Ambition, but that one I had it sent to get fixed. Ambition and that one too. That one's like another like $200 or whatever, but. They're really good machines. They run just as those other quality ones, and they give me exactly what I'm looking for. That's at the end of the day. Like, the mast, honestly, I would say about 2 years. It's still running. Like that one, I have not taken it to get fixed or anything like that. I just need to maintenance it, like clean it, probably clean it, lube it, and all of that, and it's good to go. Charge it. Bad boy runs for 7 hours, bro. Quadrant, honestly, I fell in love with them after I started trying them out. I used to use a different brand, but they started messing up. I started getting more faulty needles per box than I used to before. So I made a switch. Somebody told me about them, and I'm like, let me try it out. So I've been fucking with Quadrant. Like literally, you're not gonna see any other needle cartridge in my set. It's just Quadrant, unless somebody gives me something better and my impulsive ass switches again. Yeah, it varies. It varies on the project. It varies on the project because of the fact that all of my cartridges I choose specifically to attack certain areas of the tattoo. I know some people can only use they'll use like maybe 2 or 3 needles or maybe even 1 needle. But me, I like to be more diverse, and sometimes I'll have 1 or 2 out just in case if I'm gonna need them. So it varies. But mostly they're all like bug pins, so I like them very nice and thin. Right now, Quantum Ink is, honestly, Philip, he's an amazing guy. He's based out here in Burbank, bro. Not a lot of people know him, but like he's very known out there in Europe. He's got a big high demand and clientele and like tattoo based out there, and like his inks are just they're incredible. They're amazing, and I love his layout because he leaves on his bottles, he leaves the contents of what they're made and stuff like that. Yeah, all my colors, Quantum. I don't know, Philip. He hooks me up though. I can't lie. We'll talk about it, Philip. We'll talk about it. Hey, I'll see you. You won't see me, because that's how it goes. He's always traveling. Nuclear. But they don't carry his inks. I go personally to him. He has this little factory out here in Burbank. Yeah. Oh, they tried. They've tried. Yeah, he's tried with them and stuff like that, but. They're like, nah, we might not sell. Like, all right. It's because like not a lot of people know about Quantum. Yeah.
Now they do.
Hopefully, yeah. You hear me, guys? Yeah, get that quantum, bruh. And Philip, let me get that 5-10%. You know, just not much. A little something, something. Quantum. For color, bro, I can vouch for their color, honestly. You know. Yeah, I know all you color heads out there. You're like, let me try that motherfucker. Honestly, there's a lot that can be said or a lot that can be given to them for them starting off. You know what I mean? Right now, the industry is like, it's very it's very diverse with knowledge that wasn't easily accessible back then. So now, if you have the opportunity, given the opportunity, you have the chance, the time, and you're giving yourself the spacing to devote and sacrifice into learning that skill, I'm like, take advantage of the knowledge that is out there, you know, and try to go about it right. You know, like try to understand what it means to do a good tattoo or what it means to do a piece of art on a person's body, you know, not just a copy and paste, not like, oh, I'm tracing, you know, like I would just say like really, really take advantage of that knowledge because back then, everything that you guys knowing now, if I would have learned that back then, I don't know. I'll be running this shit. Nah, I'm just playing. Everybody chill. I don't want nobody getting upset or anything like that, you know? There's a joke. I see the feed. My bad. Anyways, so that's it. Like, you know, take advantage of the knowledge that's there because honestly, it's so easily accessible that literally anybody can pick up a tattoo machine because they just bought it off the damn counter at your local swap meet and now they're a tattoo artist. And they do ham and poke. Oh my God, 200 the hour. Girl, please, get the fuck out of my face. Sorry. My apologies. But yeah, you know, I'm like literally the tattoo industry right now is like so fucking open, dude. It's kind of crazy. It's really fucking nutty. You know what I mean? But you have some hidden gems out there that you're like, whoa, who the fuck is this? Where are you coming from? Like, and it's awesome. I think it's awesome, honestly, that they have that knowledge there because it'll just make for greater tattoo artists or legends to pave the future for other tattoo artists and legends. I would like to thank absolutely nobody. Nah, I'm playing. I'm no McGregor here. Honestly, I want to thank like literally my day one clients, my actual day one clients. You know, the ones that saw me where I started, where I was at, you know, to where I'm at now. And some of them still come around to this day. You know, and one of them is not only a client to me, but he's also a brother now. You know, and I've known this guy since I tattooed him in my kitchen while he saw my son walking around in diapers, my firstborn. You know, and he's still with me today. You know, it's my boy Mondo, and that man and his family has shown me so much love. Like his mom too, like from day one. And he's got my old shit from the pad to my new stuff on his arm from like, and he was one of the few people that literally never said, oh, you're going to charge me more? Like, you know what I mean? Like he would just, it's your art on me, papa. Like, yeah, he's a brother. He even got my little symbol tattooed on him. He's got a little stamp. He's my hoe now. Yeah. For life. You're mine. Casket and all. Tell your girl. Sorry. Boo-boo, he's mine. I stamped it already. Well, the best way to get in contact with me is literally through text. No DMs, no private messagings, none of that. Trust me, my DMs, no bueno. You will get ignored, purposely get ignored too, as well. Like you're gonna get ignored regardless. I don't do DMs, so you can text me. You know, 747-256-7410. Simple as that. You know, no email or anything like that either. You can email. It takes me a while, but you want to get in contact with me, text that number. Trust, it'll be your quickest ticket. Good question, because a lot of people seem to like skip over that, and literally all I need is just either a reference of the idea or just a detailed idea of what you're trying to get, and then the placement of where you're trying to get it. Everything else, I'll take care of it. Simple as that. Yeah, deposit is required. It's like 150 minimum. It's non-refundable. Let me repeat that, y'all. Non-refundable. Some of y'all think it's okay. Literally, they think it's okay. Like, let me book this appointment with this man. Go ahead and waste his time. Here's my deposit. If something came up, family member died. Like, a family member died. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. Don't worry, I'll reschedule you. You know, and then they bug me like a few months after, like, oh, you just disappeared on me. I thought you didn't want this no more, you know? So, and they think it's like, well, if you're not going to do my tattoo, I want my deposit back. It's like, no, it's non-refundable. Non-refundable. It's clear. I don't know. Use the dictionary. I don't know. All right, guys. Thanks for having me. You know, this is PANDATATS818. Had a great time. Y'all kids stay in school. Don't be fools. But you've been watching Blazted Network. Don't forget about it.
Ojo por ojo, diente por diente. Y aunque no tenga todo, sé que nada es suficiente. Acá tienes que vivirla, no ocupas que te la cuenten. Yo espero más de un yonki del barrio que de un presidente. Y es evidente, pues de más son las evidencias. Cada acción tendrá una reacción que siempre caerá sobre sus consecuencias. En el pueblo brotan las carencias y eso es lo que a diario lo mata. Mis neuronas que siguen de necias, consumiendo alcohol y matarrata. Desde el agujero, moviendo el mugrero. No importa, carnal, que me queda hasta en cero. Hasta el día en que me muero en el guero. Puro verso crudo, pa' serte sincero. Aunque para ti solo te suene grosero, me voy a aventar como hizo Cancerbero. Desde Michoacán pa' que tope Miñero. Compañero fiero, pero carroñero. Puro rapelo que yo aquí requiero. Es lo primero. Mi familia va en el lomo y siempre va a ser lo primero. De nadie ya nada espero. Bien sabe a lo que me refiero. No pienso ni quiero dejarlo, carnal, porque esto es lo que me hace valer. Aunque afuera hay un chingo de envidias, un chingo de enemies me quieren joder.